guys, it is April from Getting Hygge with It. Today I wanted to do my May favorites. I have quite a few lifestyle favorites here and I wanted to share them with you because I had such a great month. So let's get into it. So my first favorite is a home decor favorite. I bought this tray from HomeSense at the very beginning of the month. I needed to introduce some more like straw or rope-like elements for summer because I try to mix it up. I try to have like blue accents and then these natural elements in my home for summer. And I found this rope tray. I think it's a rope tray. Is that what you would call it? Anyway, I found it at HomeSense and I love it. I personally think that it finishes off the coffee table like perfectly. This is exactly what I want the coffee table to look like, and it just finished it off so perfectly. So I loved that. And I think it was like 30 bucks or something at HomeSense. Total steal. I'm thrilled I got that. I also bought some new plants from IKEA and they just bring so much life to my home. I think one of them is called Mother-in-Law's Tongue, or is it a snake plant? I can't remember. And then I found another little cute plant that I can't remember the name of, but I really, really love having some more vibrancy to my home. So I got that. I had surgery this month. At the end of the month, I had to go in for surgery on my uterus because I had some scar tissue there that was stopping us from getting pregnant, and so I went and had that all fixed up. And my parents sent me this gorgeous bouquet of flowers that I just fell in love with, and each of the flowers meant something different.
The green roses meant life, abundant growth, and constant rejuvenation of the spirit, cheerfulness and new beginnings. The bells of Ireland meant good luck, pink gerbera daisies for joy and cheerfulness, aster for patience, and moss for maternal love.
A couple of entertainment things that I was completely obsessed with in May. The first is the Books in the Freezer podcast. This is a horror podcast essentially that's created by Stephanie from That's What She Read and then also Rachel from The Shades of Orange. I binge listened to this podcast over the course of May, and my favorite episode was the possession episode, and that's where I got hints to read things like Come Closer and The Exorcist, and I just loved that episode so much that that whole podcast is addictive. I tell you, if you like horror books at all, you've got to go and listen to the Books in the Freezer podcast. I also really enjoyed watching Wild Wild Country on Netflix. It's this really strange documentary miniseries about a very small town of, I think there were 60 people in this small town. And this religious group bought an enormous plot of land and they moved in by the droves. I think hundreds of people ended up moving in, and there was a bit of a battle between this religious group and the people of this small town. And what I thought was so brilliant about this series was that the interviewer talked to both sides. They spoke with the top leaders in the religious group and then the people that lived in the actual town, and got both of their perspectives. So it was really, well-rounded view of what happened. And I think this all went down, I want to say in the early 70s, and I loved it. I loved it. There was, the people of this small town thought the religious group was a cult. There's things like attempted murder that happens in this, and it was just it blew my mind. So if you're looking for something good to watch on Netflix, I'd highly recommend that. And then, okay, so the last little bits that I loved in May were kind of beauty bits. So I finally bought a new hairdryer. I bought the T3 Cura Hairdryer, and I freaking love this hairdryer. My last hairdryer that was good, like my last good hairdryer, broke on my wedding day. I was blow drying my hair, trying to get ready for my wedding, and it broke on me. And I had been using this like fine hairdryer from the drugstore, but it did the trick. It actually, you know, dried my hair, but I really wanted a new hairdryer. So I found this. It was a little bit expensive. I think it was close to $300, but well worth it. I really, really love it. So that is a favorite of mine. And then the final one thing is a favorite of mine and probably a least favorite of my husband's. I bought this thing from Shoppers Drug Mart. If you go into like the foot area, I bought this thing called Footner, and it is so amazing. You basically put these little booties on your feet and you hang around your house for an hour with these booties on, and the booties are filled with some sort of acid that over the course of a week after you've used these little boot things, all of the skin on your feet sheds off. You're like a little snake. And I personally loved it because it's just like, it's left my feet looking alive again, like normal, and not so like, you know what happens to your feet in the winter. No one likes to show their feet in the winter. So it got my feet summer ready, but I have to tell you, it's a messy thing. You definitely want to be wearing socks as much as you can while that week is happening, because you will find like big pieces of skin all over the place. It's really gross. Barry hated it. But my feet look great now, so it was worth it. So those are all of the favorites of mine over the course of May. I had a really, really wonderful month. So let me know in the comments below if you had any favorites that have nothing to do with books at all, like, and everything to do with lifestyle or beauty or home or whatever. Let me know what that was, and I will see you later. Okay, bye guys.